if it was the final, how do you think it will change?
Not a lot from the intensity point of view, because we know South Africa, that's in their DNA to be really physical. If I was playing in that South Africa pack, I wouldn't want to be, moving away from using the scrum dominance that they have against most teams. The line-out dominance in the maul, the physicality of actually running at people around the side of breakdowns. Obviously, you want to play good territory and play in the right areas as well. And for any forward, you want your 9 and 10 putting you on the other end of the field, the attacking zone. But I don't think it'll differ usually. I think both sides, and I agree with Butch, I think South Africa, again, they won't walk away from this game thinking, God, we're in turmoil here. We've got to change everything. We've got to bring in a raft of new players. No, that's not the case. This game could have went either way. If South Africa had kicked some of the penalties that they had, maybe Ireland would have went up the field and got a score, would have reacted. So who knows? I think Ireland have earned the respect of World Rugby. I think we've been in positions, particularly in 2019, where we got to that world number one ranking based off winning a Grand Slam in 2018, going to Australia, winning a series and beating New Zealand in November. It was probably a false ranking. We had a disastrous year in 2019. Six Nations was really poor, the World Cup warm-ups, and then the World Cup was disappointing. So there's something different about this team, and we've seen it with them going winning a series last year in New Zealand, winning a Grand Slam, winning November matches. So they have a real steel about them, but they have a quality as well. They're really good players, and that's the pleasing part. So I don't think either side will change a lot. I think they'll try and be better in certain areas. Ireland's line-out was obviously deficient and an issue. Again, no surprise that the pressure that Etzebeth and Mostert are putting on there, and Peter Steph Toy, they're world class. They have brilliant line-out options, and Ireland were a little bit naive, slow on the throw, slow on the movement. And if you're any bit hesitant against a Springbok pack, they're gonna steal ball. One or two throws that the timing was off. But for any team to lose 6 lineouts in a game, if you said that before a game, certainly for me as someone who was big into lineouts, I would say it's going to be hard to win that game. So it's incredible that they did. They'll try and fix that, obviously. I think South Africa will try, if they were doing something different, would try and get more dominance in that attack zone and be a bit more patient. I think Ireland didn't allow them a lot of options to get into that 22. And we know and we've seen that when South Africa get in there, they can be really ruthless. So there's a couple of things. Switching off at breakdowns, being a little bit quicker to the clean out. Ireland won 9 turnovers in the game. It's a big number, and it's unlikely that would happen again if they did meet. But look, it's hypothetical, I think. Like I said, France, Ireland and South Africa are a level above. That doesn't mean on their day that a New Zealand or an England or an Argentina or even a Fiji could trouble one of these teams. But on paper, they're the strongest teams. If they met in the final again, well, I know the French people wouldn't like it, but it would be incredible. But there's a lot of steps to go before then. Ireland have got to play Scotland next week. You take your eye off the ball there, and they're dangerous. And then obviously New Zealand on their day, and Butch will know this, you played against them many times. Even though it's not the same New Zealand as old, on their day, and they showed that in the Rugby Championship, particularly in that first 20 minutes at that game in Mount Smart in July.
Yeah.
They can get it right. They have some serious players, but they're not the same. So who knows? Rugby is about, on the day, and it would be incredible if that had happened. But I can guarantee you that Rassie Erasmus or Andy Farrell don't want to hear any mention of finals or meeting up again. They've work in hand between now and then.